Hi, today I thought we could read through Star Stable's September blog post together. It focuses on Marchenghast, Halloween, and a tech update. And there's some very interesting information in it. First up, we have news about an upcoming area in the game, the Marchenghast Castle. They say, quote, discussions began last year about opening up this area to players. Initially, our thoughts mirrored many players, that clearly this was the spot to relocate the medieval content, right? We weighed our options. We could devote our efforts to moving all existing medieval content over to a new place, with little time to include anything new. Or we could do something more, something slightly different, and of course the team desperately wanted to get creative and explore what Marchenghast could be all on its own. End quote. So, initially, it seems they won't be focusing on moving the medieval content over there, but giving Marchenghast its own new content. But this does also reveal that they might at some point move the medieval content over to the Marchenghast, which I think would be a far better place for it than the Forgotten Fields. Next, they say, quote, the directors buckled down and figured out what sort of expectations we had for this project, the experience, the aesthetic, the story we wanted to tell. We continued these discussions in our IP group, which is a constellation of people closely tied to the world of Yorick. In that group, we're currently reviewing our IP Bible, page by page, as a part of a much-needed review of the stories of Yorick. However, for some time our focus was specifically on Marchenghast. We identified a few themes that we wanted to incorporate into our project brief, which would then be used to guide upcoming brainstorming sessions and workshops with larger groups. These themes are creatures/beasts, witches/nobles, meaningful exploration and progression, engaging lore that ties to the existing world. Things evolved and changed as we continued working, but one overarching theme remained. We wanted this area to be darker. It was now up to the broader group to figure out what exactly that meant in the world of Star Stable Online. This is something a lot of players are very excited about and looking forward to seeing what this means, since SSO has been a lot more kid-friendly in the recent years and many fans are looking for the eerie side of Yorick as well. I do want to set expectations correctly. We have dreamed big and scoping down was and will continue to be needed. One thing we already know is that this project will focus on the exterior of the castle and the area surrounding it, not the interior at this time. We have ideas for the inside of the castle, but the outside has evolved into a vast and enticing endeavor on its own. So we believe this is a good way to divide the project. We aim to deliver a complete and fulfilling experience, and adding a castle interior would spread us way too thin, undoubtedly hindering the initial outcome. Hopefully, one day in the future, we'll get to venture inside the castle too. A key point to note, the area we are creating is not in any way small. The footprint of the castle grounds is city-sized, and we are reclaiming and creating land to accommodate the blighted forest as well. So, they tell us that at least at the release of the area, we will most likely only get the exterior of the castle and won't be exploring the interior quite yet. But it will most likely be released at some point in the future. But not to worry, it sounds as though the exterior will have a lot to explore and different places to see. About the release date, they say that the project is a soft deadline project, which basically means they have a more flexible and adjustable time frame for completing the project and don't have a set deadline. They say they will release an updated expectation in February 2026, which I'm not entirely sure, but I believe just means they will have an update for when the project will release, not that that's when the area will be coming out. But this date is also not final and might change. Next they say this. I want to be clear on this, because changes in releases always come with some level of disappointment. That's one of the risks of sharing something so early. There is still plenty of time for change. So from this we learn that the area is still early in development. Next, Stacy says this. Well, while the team starts gearing up to dive into production, I've got my eyes set on plotting the next adventure. I'm bundling up in warmer clothes and riding down a rickety elevator to a land of ice and snow. Hopefully anyway, because again, I'm probably saying too much too early. Plans can and do change. This one is clearly a nod to the Valley of the Hidden Dinosaur. This most likely means they're working on updating the Dino Valley, but could also mean new quests in there, or perhaps both. In between the texts we get a lot of concept art for the Marchenghast castle. The first one seems to be the castle and the big courtyard it has. We can also see the entrance to the castle yard. On the right of the image, there seems to be another passage somewhere. The second picture is a sketch from the front of the castle showcasing the gate and structures of the castle. The third picture is a concept of the player exploring a mysterious looking forest, probably one that leads to the castle since you can see it in the background. In the fourth picture there are building designs that look like could be from a town or a village that's near the castle. These buildings share a resemblance to the ones in Charlheim. We can also see some wisp or little lights flowing around the buildings. The fifth picture is also some concept art for the forest. In the sixth picture we see a spooky looking witch's hut. They did mention earlier that they want to incorporate witches into the Marchenghast area, which makes sense since it's so close to the Golden Hill Valley, which does have a lot of witchy stuff going on. The seventh picture is an early creature design, which looks very cool and could be a swamp creature of sorts. The next three images are concepts of a castle turret, some window designs, and the entrance of the castle, where we can see a rider on the bridge heading to the castle gates. Next up, we have news about the upcoming Halloween festival. This part of the blog has been written in a more of a silly storytelling way, so I won't be quoting much of it, rather just telling some of the points. First up, we find out we will be getting new stuff with Calibert, more specifically an expansion to his story. This likely means a new part to the quest we have been doing with Linda about him during previous years, or perhaps a brand new quest line. But I do believe we will be continuing the old one, rather than getting a brand new one. Second up, we have a new cauldron feature coming, and we get a picture of a big spellbook in front of the cauldron that's in the middle of Caliber's keep, so clearly an update to the cauldron function. Thirdly, we hear about the text files where there reads, first pass done, feedback added, final, actually this time version 2 pass. And these are apparently logs of text submissions. I have no idea what these mean. I know they used this for a funny moment that the writer who had been investigating the Halloween update and reporting on it in this blog post had been working on the Halloween update all along, but these probably mean something else too, right? Next up in the tech update portion, they talk about an update about game freezes for Intel graphics processor units. About this, they say that the problems have been caused by outdated Intel drivers, and if you're playing with a GPU that still receives updates by Intel, to be sure to update your drivers. They also provide a link for their help page where they tell how to update your driver for the different GPU vendors. They have also updated their minimum requirements, so if your computer does not meet those requirements, you may continue to experience technical issues that they will be unable to resolve. But that's all for the September blog post. Thanks for going through this super exciting stuff with me. It's super fun hearing about their plans for the future. So, I haven't posted in a while. I've been super busy with other stuff, and I most likely won't be posting regularly in the near future either. But I really got the urge to make a video of this blog post, because it was just so intriguing. I do wish to keep making more videos, but I won't be posting too often, at least for now. But thank you so much for watching. This was a fun one, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!